Just one after another. We just gotta have all the Dominion stuff just come on out. Hello everybody and welcome to another Jurassic World Dominion discussion video. Not like the other ones we've done. Today we're doing a face one because, well, I finally got a haircut, and also sort of shaved a little bit, but it's already growing back, good God. But I just need to adjust, sorry. So, what are we here to discuss? Well, we're actually here to discuss a load of things. Specifically, we are going to be discussing all the Empire Magazine stuff that has come out, because this is being recorded on Friday, so it's all come out, and we're going to discuss everything that we haven't discussed so far. So, everything after the Giga announcement, which we already covered, which, oh my god, that was a mess, to the news that we got from DeWanda Wise, we're going to cover it all, which we're going to start with DeWanda Wise's news because, well, I don't want to talk about it too much in this video. I want to save it for another video, but news came. So when I did my Giga video, I made a joke remark in the video where, because we got revealed that Mamadou Athi's Ramsey is going to be a Biosyn operative, and I made a little joke of, oh, maybe it's going to be revealed that Kayla's actually a bad guy in the movie. Maybe she's working for Biosyn. I was close. She's not working for Biosyn. She's running the black markets for dinosaurs in Malta. Yep. My joke remarked literally hours after the video came out, like I think 2 hours actually, I found this little thing and I was like, are you kidding me? Seriously? I make a joke remark and boom, which is interesting. So it totally changes our perspective on her character, because she's been shown for nothing but working with the heroes, which is a complete shock to me to see that she's running the most evil thing that we've seen so far, which is the Malta sequence. And trust me guys, it gets evil, because one of the Empire images kind of makes a big reveal and sort of turns her from a character that we could have cheered for. Now she's possibly going to be one of the most evil ones we have. Hopefully, well, at least at the start of her character. It looks like by the time we get to the end of the movie she's a good character or something now. I don't know, but still. Not the best thing to reveal. I would have preferred that to not be revealed straight away, because that's kind of unfortunate. We didn't know who it was, but now we know who's running it. Though, it still doesn't answer one big question. Where the heck does Barry come into this? Because we know he's in Malta. We know that. Is he also part of the operation in Malta? Is he maybe just living there and maybe he runs into Owen? I have no idea. I actually have a few ideas, but I'm going to save those for another video. But we're going to drop this whole DeWanda Wise's Kayla is a black market dealer for dinosaurs, and we're going to focus on the Empire Magazine stuff. Starting off with the adorable picture that showcases Ellie Sattler, Alan Grant, some DFW workers, and a baby Nasutoceratops, with Ellie getting up close and personal, just as she did with the Triceratops back in Jurassic Park, which, honestly, it's just adorable. Look at that little face. It's so cute. And glad to see Ellie's having a good time before all the horrors, of course. We just gotta make them all smile and stuff. But not much to go over in this image, other than, if you can see in the background, you can also see some stegos and a Parasaurolophus. Well, you can't really see the stego. You can see bits of its plate above Alan's shoulder, but, you know, well, actually, you can see two paras, actually. Sorry, the Empire stamp is actually covering one of them, which is just absolutely rude. And I have no idea where I'm probably putting this little bit of me, but oh my god, this is a cute image, nice to see. But now moving on to all the stuff that came when the magazine actually released. Starting off with a big one. So the first image that we have to look at, now that I've pulled it up, is actually of like a full page piece, which showcases Rexy and the Giga about to face off, with the title saying Chaos Reigns, which is quite fitting actually when you think about it, because Rexy was the first big dinosaur we ever saw cause chaos for any human back in 1993, and realistically the first anyway, you exclude the raptors that broke out at the beginning of the movie, but still, she's the very first one to cause chaos, and has caused chaos for many characters throughout the Jurassic World trilogy, and now here comes her so-called replacement, the one who wants to take over, which is Mr. J himself, the Giganotosaurus, even though it starts with a G, which, oh my god, everybody's making memes about the Joker remark from Colin Trevorrow for this guy. But clearly Rexy's not going to have any of that. She wants to stay the ruler of the dinosaurs, and this Giga is just going to have to deal with that. But they're going to fight, and I'm pretty sure these are both their practical effects, because the Empire magazine goes into detail about how they are actually dealing with these on set, so this is pretty much confirms that these are the animatronics, which is awesome to see. One little detail you might notice on both of them is that they have some cuts all over their faces, which for Rexy, it's nothing new, but for the Giga, it's a new one on their lip. Now, we've seen the cuts from Giga's face a few times, actually. I think 2 renders have actually shown it. Not all of them have, but what's interesting is, since Rexy also has them, and they're both clearly fresh, and if you look in the environment, do you notice something? Because I sure do. This, I believe, is taken in the Therizinosaurus territory, because the foliage does not match what we saw the Giga coming to greet our lovely heroes at the end of the first trailer. But this matches the Therizinosaurus' environment, which we all know it's at the Biosyn facility, so maybe they've moved off, which leaves me to believe that this fight scene might be longer than any fight scene we've had between dinosaurs for a while. Maybe not as long as the Jurassic World fight, but still, it might be close. I hope it is, at least. Maybe what's going to happen is it's going to start where we're at the Amber Mine entrance that we saw at the end of the trailer, and maybe what's going to happen is they're going to be directed at some point all the way to the Therizinosaurus territory, and maybe, if the rumors are true of the Therizinosaurus joining the fight, maybe the Theri decides to get in their way and then start slashing at them, and obviously they're not really paying attention to anything else here, which means either the Therizinosaurus is dead, or this is not true, which, if it's dead, well then, poor Therizinosaurus, he didn't go out too well, killed by 2 carnivores, but it'll still be awesome to see a Therizinosaurus go after these 2, especially because it's taller than them, so it's got height on its side, and claws, but apparently it's not going to win against 2 sets of teeth. But moving on, because I don't want to talk too much about this one, because it kind of explains itself, they're ready to fight. Moving on to the next image I have here, which, let's just pull it up. Okay, so not the next image, but there's some interesting thing about Jeff Goldblum and his work on the movie, as he actually was, as an image actually showcases him talking with Colin Trevorrow, actually, which the interesting thing is a lot of information about Jeff Goldblum's involvement has come, a lot more than like Sam Neill or Laura Dern, but it discusses actually how much he put into his character, as it describes him having a book of ideas for different scenes for his character, or different ways for how his character would act, which I gotta say, I really love hearing that, especially for Jeff Goldblum, because like these are some of the biggest characters in cinema for like franchises. Like the only thing that rivals them, in my opinion, is Star Wars, but whereas Disney failed with that, kind of, just want to point that out, it seems like Jurassic World Dominion is definitely going to succeed with that, because Colin Trevorrow is definitely letting them call the shots, mostly for their characters. He's just guiding them, but they know their characters, and I'm glad to see that they're more in control than really Colin Trevorrow. And I'm glad to see that they're actually praising his work as well as with working with them, which is awesome to see all around. And that's what this image describes. But moving on, the next image actually we have here is a beautiful shot of the Dreadnoughtus, which we can confirm because it's in the Biosyn facility. As you can see, the Biosyn helicopter is actually at the top of the image. Also, I'm pretty sure you can see a prehistoric insect in the background here. I think so. There's something brown by the trees, but I gotta say, I was really worried when Dreadnoughtus was announced because it was another sauropod, which I love sauropods, I really do, but they haven't really used them that much. Like, they get one scene. Brachiosaurus is the only one that's gotten, like, actual love. Like, Jurassic Park did them amazing. Fallen Kingdom did them amazing. Jurassic Park 3, we don't really talk about. But for other sauropods, they haven't really gotten the love they deserve. Like, Mamenchisaurus only got 4 seconds of screen time, which, that speaks for itself. And Apatosaurus, well, it's only had one real scene to it, and that was with Claire and Owen in Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom, you just saw them running around, so not really much to them. But I'm glad to see that they're giving characteristic traits to this Dreadnoughtosaurus, as it's shown to be very big and bulky, unlike the other sauropods. Well, they're all big, but he's got a much bulkier sculpt to him. And we see that these guys really like to be in the water, which sort of harkens back to the original Jurassic Park movie where we saw a Brachiosaurus coming out, but it seems to be a nice character trait for him, which is really nice, and it's a beautiful shot, I must say. I love the lighting. The movie's doing really well. Now, here comes an interesting image which showcases Alan, Owen, and Maisie in what I assume to be the Biosyn facility. We saw this in the trailer where they were sneaking around, Owen with his gun, and Alan Grant, I'm pretty sure, had like a pipe or something. But now it shows them with Alan. Oh no, he does have his pipe. Okay, never mind. I was going to say he hasn't lost it yet. But Alan and Maisie are reaching their hand out towards something similar to what we've seen Owen do with the raptors, while as Owen is actually just pointing the gun towards it. So maybe this is an aggressive animal. Maybe it's the Pyroraptor or Atrociraptor. I know some people are thinking it might be Beta because, well, we know Beta is going to be here at some point because of the size chart that came with all the Biosyn Sanctuary dinosaurs. But not too much to go over since we can't really see what they're looking at, but clearly they're not like in full fear, especially like you can tell for Maisie and Alan. They seem to be like trying to calm it down or something. So I'm pretty sure it's either Blue or Beta. I'm gonna say one of those two. But moving on to the next one, here we get on to why DeWanda Wise's Kayla being one of the most evil characters comes into play, because the next image showcases a cockfight with 2 dinosaurs, those being a baby Baryonyx and a baby Allosaurus. Keyword being baby ones, not the giant adults who like have at least experience with fighting. No, they have these little baby ones chained up and forced to fight with hundreds of humans screaming around them. Well, not hundreds, but dozens. And the sad thing is, we actually get a little detail here that explains that this isn't the first time that these dinosaurs may have fought. As if you look at the Baryonyx, it's the one with the mechanical arm that we've actually seen in the toy departments, actually. I'm pretty sure we've seen it with the egg version of it, with the slime eggs for the Biosyn versions. I'm pretty sure it was there that I first saw it, which showcased it having this mechanical arm. And we all thought it was an adult, actually. I did too, but no, this is apparently going to be a baby version. Though, one detail I will praise about this is actually showcasing the Allosaurus being the Fallen Kingdom version and not the Battle at Big Rock. Yes, I know the Fallen Kingdom one isn't loved, but we know that one to be the juvenile, so it makes sense that it more matches that one. But I feel like this might be a little too spoilery, because we know a lot about Malta already, so we don't need to be spoiled anymore, but unfortunately, this kind of spoils like how dark it is. I'm not too mad about it though, because it's like, we knew this was happening, but I just didn't think we needed to see it yet. But I love the way that it sort of shows how brutal this is and how evil it is. I mean, cockfighting is one of the most evil things people do with animals today, and it's no surprise, unfortunately, that they're doing it with animals, and it's enraging to see. Can't wait for Owen and Claire and their team to wreck this place up and get those dinosaurs out of there. Get them on the streets of Malta and rip the city apart. That's my opinion, though. But moving on, because I don't want to talk about that one too much, here we start to get into the love of the Giga, with the first image showcasing a nod very similar to Jurassic Park. Well, I don't really need to say that. All the things that we've seen for the Giga for the ending of the movie so far seem to be very Jurassic Park feel. Like the way it came out of the forest was very like the T-Rexes from probably more of the Lost World, because it came out of shadow and then revealed itself. Not like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park where it like crashed through the trees. So it was more quiet like the Lost World T-Rex. But this is very Jurassic Park. The way you just see the snout of the Giga, which, Jesus, those are some huge teeth, I gotta say. Ugh, creepy. But it showcases Laura Dern and DeWanda Wise, or I should say their character names. We see Kayla and Ellie in the vehicle that we've seen in a few shots actually, where it's flipped over, which is interesting because the previous image we talked about was showcasing the Giga circling around with them all out. So maybe this happens after, or maybe I don't know, something happens, because when we see the vehicle in the trailer, it's already flipped over, and from the way they shoot it, the characters haven't seen the Giga, so maybe it surprise attacks them, but they don't see it, runs back into the forest or something, and then comes out when they're like all out ready to be killed. Some of them might jump back into the vehicle or something, I have no idea, but we only see these two, though it reminds me of the main road attack for sure, where the T-Rex was like on the ground, basically its snout dragging on the ground as it tried to get into the Ford to get Tim, which doesn't look too good. Although I will say this vehicle is nowhere near as damaged as that one was, even though, well, I know it's a Jeep, it shouldn't be damaged at all, God forbid, but still, I wish that like it showed a lot more damage. But I know Jeep is like, they have to have the indestructible vehicles. Though, if we do really make real dinosaurs, the first test we're gonna do is on the Jeep. If it breaks, well, then Jeep's a liar, but you know, it's awesome. And then we move on to another image before we get to the last Giga one, which showcases Ian Malcolm, or Jeff Goldblum, our hero, in these, I'm pretty sure it's the same vehicle, so, God, these are a lot of images and stuff, but we don't know when this takes place, but clearly from this expression he has, he looks very concerned, which in another image we'll discuss, kind of this image of concern should be put on my face because, well, I'll talk about it in a second, but moving on to the next image, which showcases Mamadou Athie's Ramsey getting out of the Biosyn helicopter, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can tell from the wing shape and stuff and the tail. Also, you can see a bit of the Biosyn logo on the door, so pretty sure it is. But nothing of importance really here. Next image that actually seems a lot more important showcases Claire Deering around some sort of device, a box device. Maybe it's to control a gate or something, which we'll discuss a little bit more about this later because I'm pretty sure she's oh God, just gotta adjust the mic. There you go. It's caught on my skin. Ow. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, this device. Judging from the fact that she's looking up in kind of complete terror, I'm pretty sure she's staring at the Giga, and maybe she's trying to close it off. That's what I can assume. I can't really tell. I haven't seen the movie yet. Just, we have less than 2 months, Austin. Less than 2 months, and then we will be free. But here comes the big image, the big one, which reveals the Giga trying to chomp down on nearly all of our characters. I say nearly all because we have DeWanda Wise as Kayla, Isabelle Sermon's, I believe I'm saying that right, I'm so sorry if I'm not, Isabelle's Maisie Lockwood, Bryce Dallas Howard's Claire Deering, Sam Neill's Alan Grant, Laura Dern's Ellie Sattler, and Chris Pratt's Owen Grady, all here with a lovely Giga jaw just inches away, just trying to get them, which again is another like Jurassic Park nod. Well, actually the Lost World, when the T-Rex was actually reaching into the what's it called, the waterfall, where it was trying to chomp at Sarah Kelly and Nick Van Owen, and what was that other guy, the jerk paleontologist? Burke, that's the one. Well, hopefully no one gets pulled above, behind the curtain, because we don't need to see that blood spill. But then this image, interestingly enough, which raises my concerned face, Ian Malcolm's not here. We can't see Ian here, which maybe he's off screen, maybe he's actually like beside Kayla or Owen that we just can't see, but something tells me we might have an answer to one question we've had. I'm not going to say the question, of course, because I don't want to spoil anything and I don't want to be spoiled, but the thoughts in my head. And moving on to a lovely Indiana Jones picture itself of Sam Neill with a torch. He's ready, and judging from his expression, he's not ready to look for the treasure, which I'm pretty sure he's in the amber mines, which is why I said treasure, but judging from his expression, as said before, maybe there's something in here that's probably not making him feel the joy. Maybe there's some evil creature, which I know some people are saying it's the Dimetrodon. I don't know how you can confirm that. We haven't seen the Dimetrodon in the film. We've only seen renders of it. But anyway, moving on to this lovely Indiana Jones image, we get this awesome bit of information about the Dilophosaurus, which reveals that there is going to be at least 3 of them in the Biosyn facility, and apparently their behavior definitely explains why Cash was terrified of them in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 4, because it describes them as not being like the Velociraptors where they just sneak up and kill their prey. It describes them being kind of like children, sort of, because it explains that they're very curious creatures and they act sort of friendly and they just want to get to know you before going full horror tone and scaring the hell out of you and trying to kill you, which is just so creepy, guys. I'm so glad they're going for this horror element with the Dilophosaurus. I mean, it has one of the scariest moments in the entire franchise with the novel scene alone, so it's understandable that they want to make us sort of crap our pants, basically. But we have 2 more images to look at, which show some behind-the-scenes stuff, with the first showing Chris Pratt's Owen Grady, as he looks on at a Pyroraptor animatronic, which, I gotta say, this image makes the Pyroraptor look way better, because I love the Pyroraptor, but the practical effect image we discussed a few days ago, it kind of looked really like mutated or something, like because of the way the mouth was like snarling. I think it was because they were working on the inside. That's what they said in like the little report for that. But this image showcases it properly with its lips folding properly. Its mouth is a little bit open, but we know its lips will fold properly, so it looks much better here. Only thing I will say that I do think could have improved the Pyroraptor and made it perfect, in my opinion, is if the eye was bird-like, like the way the JP3 Raptors were. That's just my opinion. It's still a beautiful design, but anyway, the last image shows the man himself, B.D. Wong's Dr. Wu, which showcases him working with a very, very big prehistoric insect, which we've seen a few times, which sort of answers how big the ones in the trailer are, and they are massive. Like, look at the size of that. It's almost as big as like his torso, I'm pretty sure. Plus the wingspan, of course, you gotta include. And I don't know what he's doing to it. He's got a lot of sort of needles pricking it, which I don't think that's really polite. Maybe he's going to be experimenting on it. I know that the Empire magazine sort of explained that Biosyn sort of making it look like they're looking at these dinosaurs for pharmaceutical values, which kind of reminds me of Evolution of Claire, actually, because there was this company that tried to steal some medical stuff from Dr. Wu for that stuff. But interesting that Biosyn's going for that lie in this case, which kind of makes sense, actually. But we don't know what he's doing, though. Gotta say, love the hair, love the sweater, and I need that sweater because this one's not getting comfy anymore. It's kind of a little old, and I've got an itch. But that is really it for the Dominion Empire magazines. I say magazines because there was 2 versions of it, the one with Jurassic World cast. Anywho, we already know that. But there is one more thing we have to look at before we go. Oh, that music's just so good. Michael Giacchino, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. He did amazing for this.
An enormous amount of fun on the first film.
Oh, I missed those animatronics on those days. I'm glad we're getting that with the Giga. That's awesome.
There was an energy on set that it was the first time you'd ever seen anything like this.
Brachiosaurus?
I was excited about everything that it could be.
Hell yeah.
When I saw the dinosaur in the trailer and I saw the ripples on the water, I was like, oh my gosh. It really defined my generation, this film.
I cried the first time I saw dinosaurs.
Didn't we all? At least the ones with souls.
Suddenly, that which had never seemed real before now was totally real. And I realized at that moment that cinema forever had changed.
Yeah.
Jurassic World Dominion is the culmination of the franchise. It concludes a story that Steven Spielberg started telling.
You know, we haven't gotten a lot of Spielberg, really. I know he's just a producer, but still.
I knew it was going to be really special.
Ah, Cowboy
I could never
Owen.
imagine we'd be here working alongside Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern. It's pretty fantastic.
It is so much fun. It is everything we could have ever hoped for and more.
Ah, there's the
I thought it
Dreadnoughtus.
was a fantastic idea to bring these two worlds together.
It's been a great privilege to be a custodian of something like this. Our legacy characters, our Jurassic World characters, are back.
Our storylines intersect.
Ooh.
It's the convergence of the
Yep,
two
there's the there's Biosyn.
We need to fix.
And there you go. There's Woo's redemption right there. One sentence.
God's scary as hell adventure.
This is what everything has been leading to. I could use your expertise.
Oh yeah, Owen and Ian teaming up. I like that. Da 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 da. Pyroraptor, Atrociraptors.
Why do they always have to go bigger?
It's a rule, Ian. We have to. It's in the Jurassic Bible, I'm pretty sure. And here we go.
Don't move.
Yes, the Beast, the Giga, and well, that's pretty much it. So we're just gonna stop that there. Which we're gonna turn off sound actually because I'll need to look at this. So first thing I want to talk about of this is, of course, that Giga, which that shot is perfect representation of what Jurassic Park is, like, for practical effects. Like, I was talking about this in my Giga video of how Fallen Kingdom sort of didn't do the best with what it could do for practical effects. I was glad they got them, don't worry, I'll take practical effects any way we can, but there's something about seeing a practical effect in the open, uncaged, and just like being there. And this is awesome. The only sad thing I have to say for this video is apparently this Giga animatronic broke on set, which is absolute devastation. Hopefully they managed to fix it in some way. I don't know how badly it was broken, but that's devastation. A work of art, as Dr. Wu would say, should not be damaged, but unfortunately it was. Hopefully we're definitely still gonna get a lot of it from what we've seen. This is exactly like Jurassic Park. I remember on Instagram the other day, someone posted this thing where they showed both the Giga doing this roar and also Rexy from the original movie when she was roaring into screens, basically saying, "Hey cinema, I'm your new star." Which, yeah, she is. Look at her 30 years later. She's the most famous dinosaur T-Rex of all time. And this is awesome and stuff. Also, I love we get the comedy thing of don't move from both of them. Though, unfortunately from this beast, who has an amazing roar, which I want to hear that again. Let's just play that again. Yeah, that is an awesome roar. I love the ones that were shown in the prologue, but there's something about that one just so deep and evil, and I love it. But we get some new shots which showcase a few things. I'm not going to go too much into it because, well, you've already seen it and stuff, but this was a nice little thing. It's sort of a teaser, you could say, because like it shows not too much. Like it shows like little bits of pieces, but you can't really put them together with anything, especially like with the ones that are the old ones that were in the trailer, because the only one you can is an extended look at the Atrociraptor, which shows Claire driving away under some under a building, kind of, or a constructed building, with the Atrociraptor hot on her heels. Also, we get these shots of, a few shots that show Alan, Ellie, and Maisie, which might suggest that they're the ones who are going to find Maisie in the Biosyn facility. Look, I'm just going to end this here with one more statement. The reason this is going to succeed is because it did something that Star Wars failed to do with Disney. Like, you can have your Rogue Ones, or your Return of Clone Wars, or all the Mandalorian, or all of that. The reason why Star Wars failed when Disney got it is because they killed Han Solo in the first one. It was an awesome shock for me. Like, I mean, 12-year-old me was bawling on my way home because, well, Han Solo was killed, because he was my favorite Star Wars character apart from R2 and Vader. But anyway, the problem with that, though, looking at it now, is we never got one scene of the original Star Wars trilogy together, let alone the other ones included of R2, 3PO, Lando, or Chewie. We didn't get any of those characters. We didn't get the three together in one scene. And we never will because of Carrie Fisher's unfortunate passing in 2017. The reason this is going to succeed is because while Star Wars can be known for having the most famous of a trio characters, which were those three, Luke, Han, and Leia, Jurassic Park has second for, like, everybody. It has Alan Grant, Ian Malcolm, and Ellie Sattler, all very different characters that represent different things, and we are getting a full film with them. Not just one scene, which, realistically, if Star Wars did that, they would have destroyed cinemas in a good way, because we would have gotten something we hadn't thought we would see ever. And Disney failed that. It's why everybody really hates the sequel trilogy, because we never got them together, let alone any of them. You got moments with two of them together, like Luke and Leia at the end of Last Jedi, which is a touching moment for sure, but you never got all three of them. And Mark Hamill even agreed. He said Disney screwed up the moment they killed Han Solo, because, well, they basically made him have nothing to do in that movie, so it was never going to happen in that movie. But still, Dominion will succeed on that for sure. I just cannot wait for this movie. But I'm going to leave it here on that note. Just think about that. Dominion's going to do what Star Wars couldn't, what Disney couldn't with its billions and billions of dollars. It's bringing back an iconic part from the original trilogy. So, I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed this long video, which I apologize for it being so long, I've been ranting on a few times, but just wanted to try and get everything I could because, well, I'm trying to get back into doing a lot more because the channel's been suffering because of my lack of content. So, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please do leave a like and please subscribe to help the channel come back. I want to get us to 3,000, hopefully before the end of the month. And with Dominion products literally right at our doorstep, hopefully we can save this channel. And hopefully, by Dominion, my goal, I don't think it's going to happen, but let's prove me wrong and let's get to 5,000. At least 4,500 at the minimum. Please, let's do that. That's what I ask. I hope we can do it by Dominion's release, or at least by the end of June. But if you've enjoyed this video, guys, I would appreciate the like. I already said the subscribe and stuff. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Now I'm gonna have to edit all of this and get it out before, hopefully, the trailer releases, because it's supposed to release on Saturday, which is when this is also coming out. Ugh.